Have you ever wondered what the Life of Fred curriculum is all about? Well, I wanted to give you a rundown because there's been multiple times people ask what math we use for our homeschooling curriculum. And this is what we use, and it's a little bit hard to explain, so I figured I'd show you. We have been using Life of Fred. We switched probably when my oldest was in first-ish, second grade, somewhere around in there. And we stuck with it through, we took a little break a couple years ago, but now we're jumping back in. It seems like it's the best program for my oldest. My second has decided to do something different, but I wanted to show what was inside because this is a really unique approach to math. It's very much all encompassing, and of course it's entertaining too. If you can imagine, we have Fred, this is Fred. You've got pictures, this is the painting that his stuffed animal makes. But all of these books are about Fred. You can see his picture right there. He has right angles and an acute triangle nose and there's all these quirky ways that he brings math into everyday situations. Fred is a 5-year-old professor at Kittens University, and he's 3 feet tall. And there's lots of other nuance to the book that brings math up in everyday life. So the format is you have A through J, books that are about probably 20 bucks each now. I got them there like $16, $17 each. You have A through J lessons that you complete in, I think, 1st through 4th grade. You'll have to check their website to be sure. And each of these are very fun, laid back format. If you're looking for repetition in math, this is not it. But you can supplement these with repetition. So on the inside, you've got a little explanation, but you have a chapter. Each chapter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages long. On the 5th page, you'll have a half page or sometimes an all page, your turn to play. These are the questions, it's the end of the lesson. These are the questions that your kid will need to answer. Usually I just go through it with them and check them on the fly. Your kid could do this on his own because the answers are on the back. And this is where you can check. When you get a little bit later into addition or multiplication facts, they sometimes have a row of practice in here so you can practice repeating. But yeah, it's very simple. They're teaching a number of different concepts in here. They're also teaching about the stars, teaching about English. He covers and talks about a wide variety of topics, which is one reason why I like it. There's been a lot of times where we will read one of our math lessons and then we use it to talk about marine life, or we'll go watch a video on something he mentioned. It becomes more than just a math curriculum if you want to use it that way. Of course, it is also just a math curriculum if you want it. So it's a little bit different because it's very entertaining and fun to read. There's a wide variety of things he does. He's very naive. Fred is he's very naive, he's gullible, he's likable, he's nice. And so he uses that as a launching off pad because of course there's a villain who tries to take advantage of Fred, which the author then uses to encourage kids how to be wise and that kind of stuff. It is based on a Christian perspective, but that doesn't necessarily mean if you are not Christian, you couldn't use it, and you could always just work through whatever portions that have some comments about God. You could work through it and talk to your kids about it. So this is the elementary section. These don't take you that long to get through. I think you're supposed to do a couple books a year. You can probably get through, it's 18 lessons in each one, right around there. And so you do it one a week, couple a week, however you want to format it. It is not a pressure-filled math situation, but it teaches you a lot of concepts that you need to know. So I really liked it. Now, when you move on to the next section, I think it's about 5th grade. We got K, I've got them out of order, but K, L, and M. These are the intermediate ones, and this is where Life of Fred gets definitely more complicated. Not in its presentation, just in the math problems. You really see the math lessons start to kick into high gear here. So in here, I think we still have the same amount of reading and story. Oh, no, less. You have a little bit of a variance on how long your story is going to be, but you still have the same concept that you do a lesson and you read and then you have your turn to play. The questions just get harder at this point because obviously your kids can handle more. By the way, he does work through a lot of the like algebra. He starts talking about algebra in the first book. He's like, if I have 5 apples and I give you 4 apples, how many do I have left? That's the same as 5x, 4x, and he really does a good job of integrating big principles at a young age, which is one reason I like it. So yes, and here's where your problems get a little more tough. Not that these aren't tough, these are just don't take as much time, and there's a lot of simple problems to get across the math principles that he wants to get across. Plus, in this lesson, he encourages you learn your math facts, practice your multiplication flashcards, practice your addition facts. If I messed on anything with my kids, I may not have practiced the repetition of the math families and all that stuff as much as I could have. But that's okay, we're always learning and they can always grow. I do like all of the pages in Fred are very interesting. There's pictures, a variety of fonts for different reasons. So overall, it's a fun read. I have caught my boys who are the older, they randomly read them at different times just because it's kind of fun. So this is your intermediate. And then I think in like 7th grade, you go into a harder set of books. This is where it picks up and it gets to be pretty intense math. This is like level 1, level 2, level 3. And this is all the farther we purchased. There's a lot more books after that. We just buy as we go. All of these books are reusable. So I bought one for each kid and then they write their answers on paper separately. So it's overall, I'm assuming a very economical math purchase. Life of Fred, fractions and decimals. These two are the next. I feel like there might be one more with these, maybe not. These are for like getting ready for high school, and definitely again, your lessons reduce a lot. It's not quite as much reading, it's a lot more math, and the math itself is it really makes you think. It's a lot of math, but it's all based in story. For example, one of my favorite questions I remember is, one of the questions was like, if Fred's so-and-so's grandma died at 1 second before she turned 100, how old would she be? And they want you to figure it down to the hours, seconds, days, years, minutes, and all that stuff. So there's this one, and then I just realized I don't have the other book handy, but the next one is even thicker than this, and it is pre-algebra, and I forget what it is, but it just takes another step up, and I think Fred goes all the way through like college prep. So that's what Life of Fred is all about. If you have questions, pop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer or point you to where I think you might get an answer. But this is what my resources are, and I hope it helps you understand what Life of Fred looks like.